So talking about players that may or may not be world class and those sort of players that have been there and thereabouts, I actually want to talk about a player whose move has been seen as unambitious, but I've learned something new that you guys might not know about him. I'm actually talking about Paulo Dybala, who's gone to Roma for 100,000 a week on a free contract. Yeah. So the first thing I want to ask you, I'll start off with you, Joe. Do you think that was an unambitious move from him, or do you believe that a lot of the Premier League clubs that he would have liked to go to didn't want him?
I think if you move from in between Italian clubs or French clubs, even Spanish clubs, I think you are, unless you're moving up, and I don't know how it's going to go with Roma this season. Yeah, I think it's unambitious, isn't it? I think if you will need to test yourself at the highest level, he's 28 now, so I mean, he's not going to be, he's at his prime. He's probably still in his prime just now. Yeah. I think he should have come to the Prem. I think he should have pushed for a Premier League move. I mean, even if it wasn't going to be the top 4, there was definitely going to be teams that would have taken him. 100 grand, that's not a lot of money now.
Yeah, most teams could have that.
For me, I'm unambitious, but Mourinho has that pull, doesn't he? Yeah. So Mourinho has that pull, so he might be planning out these huge goals for them all, and he might be seen as not an unambitious move at all. I don't know.
Now, to caveat to that, before we go to you, Pod, I just want to add that I just found out that he has put in a clause in his contract saying that he is available for 17 million next summer. Does that change anything? So next summer he'll be available for 17 million.
That's nuts.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
That's smart. That's very smart because
that's clever,
it covers Roma, because Roma they'll get some of their money back. Yeah. And obviously allows him to leave if an offer comes in. I think the last couple of seasons he's been a bit injury prone. So I think he needs that season, innit, where he just doesn't get injured, racks up like 20 goals, gets back to where he was probably 2-3 years ago type thing or whatever. And I think with him, you always have to remember he wanted to go to Inter Milan, so he wanted the challenge. He wanted to go there, maybe try and do something in Europe, maybe win the league back or whatever. But they turned him down. So it's hard to say he's unambitious. I would have said he's more unambitious if he had the choice of where he was going to go, rather than this is all that's left. You know what I mean? Because that's how it felt in terms of Italy. And from what I know, he's been in Italy since he was like 19, 18. Yeah. So he's pretty much almost Italian at this point, even though he's Argentinian. Yeah? He's lived there for like 10 years. Yeah? Probably married an Italian girl, probably did, having a great time there. Doesn't want to move country. His whole thing in the beginning was to move to Inter Milan. That was his first choice or whatever. So I can see why he's like, man, I'm not leaving the country. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? I've won titles here. I've won almost, I think, even played the season one time at Juve or at before. So he's like, listen, I've proved myself in Italian football. Yeah, the rest of the world probably doesn't recognize me as one of the greats, but at this point, it's going to be hard to change their mind with 2-3 years left or 4 years left of my career.
Out of the top,
I think 17 million is a great fail safe for him.
Out of the top 6, Joe, which clubs do you think Dybala gets into and possibly starts for? If we think about the top 6, the traditional top 6, if any.
Man United, he could get into. Their team's a mess. He could get into that. I think Arsenal, but at a push. But I don't know anyone. I don't think any of the other teams would have him. Like personally, in the first 11.
You don't think he starts for Tottenham?
Actually, that's a good point. I didn't know you were talking about Tottenham in the top 6. Sorry. Yeah, I do think he would start for Tottenham. I think again, Tottenham are a mess, but I think they're going to be good this season. Their midfield needs strengthening, but he doesn't play in the centre midfield like that, does he? But yeah, Tottenham and Man United. I think everyone else, and at a push Arsenal, I think everyone else has got a good plan of what's happening. Yeah. And now, obviously, Spurs have now, but they're trying to shift out their midfield. But yeah, Man United definitely. I think they're a joke at the moment.
What about you, Pod? Do you look at it?
That's another thing because it's a World Cup year. Yeah, do you really want to move to another country, acclimatize to the league? You're not sure whether you're gonna start. When I can just I'm here. I know the language. I know the players. I can just go to Roma where I'm guaranteed to start. Yeah. If I score goals, maybe I start for Argentina with Messi up front. Who knows? You know what I mean? So there's some extra reasons why he would say that. In terms of teams that could use him, you'd almost have to change your system to accommodate him. I would personally take him at Chelsea, because we have a space on the right. We don't really have anybody who's like nailed on the right. Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic. Like, none of these guys are nailed on. They all have potential, but like nobody's nailed on. So I would 100% take him. I don't know if you can play him as a winger. You must have to play him as like a number 10, but like from the right, or inside forward. So you have to change the formation slightly. But yeah, I definitely think Chelsea could use him. I think Arsenal could use him, but you'd have to play him almost like a false nine type thing or whatever. I don't think.
Play him and Jesus off each other, kind of.
Yeah, I don't think he would displace Saka on the wing or wherever. I don't think he can play him on the left either. So yeah, he'd either come and maybe take that Odegaard position, which I think is fair. I don't think Odegaard is 100% nailed down that position. So I think. I think him and Dybala can definitely battle it out. You know what I mean, for that position. Who else? That's it. He wouldn't start Man City.
No.
He wouldn't start Liverpool. Yeah, that's it really. Yeah, I mean, although it's a funny one with Liverpool though, because this Nunes guy has looked shocking so far. Honestly, the guy's had like 2 air ball misses. Like literally, the guy like 5 yards ago, he swings and he completely missed. I'm shocked. Twice.
What I think about Dybala, I think that he's a victim of his own making in a sense. I think that in terms of ability, no one will. He's one of those players. No one will even question, does he have the natural ability? We've seen it. He's got a wand of a left foot. He can volley, he can shoot, he can pass, he can do all of that. But the first thing he did when his contract was running out was I saw teams like United coming for him. He, ran out United, Arsenal interested, Tottenham, and he basically offered us wages. He wanted everyone to pay like 250, near 300 grand to possibly get him. That automatically turns off most clubs. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, he's been on a decline. If you just watch his performances, everything has been on a decline since Ronaldo's come in. And he plays in a position and in a way that's kind of just not favorable anymore. Like no one plays the number 10 the way he plays it, the shadow striker, and no one really likes players that aren't workhorses anymore. Everybody has to kind of pick up their shift, especially in the Premiership. He's not really an athletic player. He doesn't have great work rate. So it's a situation, like you said, if you do bring him in, you have to play him in a different way, and most teams don't really want to outcast the rest of their system. So I agree with you. Is he naturally probably more ability than Odegaard? As an overall player, yes. But does he suit Arsenal's team more than Odegaard? No, not a chance. So, I mean, it's that sort of thing where I think clubs would take him, but they take him in the same way that a lot of clubs would take Dembele. They take him for what they think he could be and the talent that he has versus what they probably would get. So I think on that situation, him going to Roma, I think that was the only team that were dead on wanted him and will play in a way to suit the way he is.